Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Hadith class. This is our Riyadhus Saliheen Hadith class. Our class is based on the Hadiths of Imam Nawawi, taken from his righteous sources of Bukhari and Muslim and other sources in his book he put together entitled The Righteous Gardens. And we're almost done with this book. And then we're going to move on to a lot of people ask me when I'm done with Riyadhus Saliheen, what am I going to go over for this hadith class? I'm going to go over Imam Bukhari's collection. What I think I'm going to do, though. No, I think since so many of you with my Islam Q&A, I usually do the heart softeners of Imam Bukhari because I like to keep the heart filled with hope. But since I have so many new to practicing Islam, when I say new to practicing Islam, a lot of Muslims who are not converts but have been Muslim, but a lot of you don't know the correct way to pray. I think what I'm going to revisit is my series on how to perform the prayers correctly. And when I teach that series, I teach it directly. Hold on for a second. I teach it directly from the Hadith books. I usually teach it directly from, take it directly. We go directly over book Imam Muslim, the book of prayer. So I think that's what I'll probably do because I have so many of you with the questions about how to perform prayers and how to perform the positions. A lot of the Muslims don't know what the pillars of the prayers are, what the sunans of the prayers are. A lot of you didn't know that the tashahhud is a pillar of the prayer, and I'm the second sitting. And that's kind of behooves me. So I think I'm going to do that in this, replace this class with that. Because we have to know the basics. All this other stuff, you don't have to unknow Islamic jurisprudence. You're not a scholar. You're not a judge. You're not going to have to decide cases, or any of that. You shouldn't even want those type of positions in life anyway, because those type of positions carry a lot of weight and authority. And a lot of men fall victim to the fame of those positions. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, don't aspire to become scholars. Don't aspire to become people of authority, because a lot of us succumb to those positions of power. And that's another reason why the majority of people will end up in hell. Never aspire for that. And this is a big problem with he said will be a big problem with the later generation of Muslims. They will aspire for positions of power. Like we see so many Muslim kids today, it shows that their parents are not educating them about Islam well. Oh, I want to be a scholar. No, you should never want something like that, because you don't know the seriousness of such a position. Because one of the first groups of people that will be dragged by their faces and thrown into the hellfire on the day of judgment are those people who refer to themselves as being scholars in this world. So we shouldn't go around seeking positions of affluence like that. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ discouraged that from the companions, and the companions discouraged it too. In fact, they didn't like it when people came to them asking them questions about Islam. They would get nervous, they would get kind of uneasy, and some of them would get angry and say, no, why did you come and ask me? Why didn't you go ask Abu Bakr or someone else? So we shouldn't aspire for positions of power and authority, because the Prophet ﷺ said those who aspire for such positions end up being the worst at it. they end up being the most abusive. And that's what this nation will succumb to. People of power who have no fear of Allah. That's going to lead to our destruction, as it's doing today. So we have to be careful of that. And in fact, he said, never give such positions to people who ask for them. If a person comes to you asking for you to make them a imam, to give them a position of power, he told the companions, don't give it to them. And they didn't. You know, when people would come asking the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to give them a position of power or influence, he would tell them no, because you asked for it. That shows you're not qualified to have it. Okay. That's all of these hadiths can be found in Bukhari and Muslim. So we have to educate ourselves, and this is why they make the worst leaders. That's why we have bad leaders today, bad imams of the community. A lot of these brothers who are imams of the community, they wanted to be that. And look at them. They abused the power. They abused that authority. They weren't deserving of it. They were looking for fame, looking for acknowledgement. And they got just that. You know. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. So, yeah, that's what I'll do when we're done with this book. We're going to go over the hadiths addressing the prayer. We're going to cover that from A to Z, because I think that's what needs to be done. All right. And so tonight for this class, we're going to talk about a very good topic that so many Muslim women, my sisters, suffer with today. We're living in the days of fraud, deception. Another one of the signs of the days of fitan, you know, deception. What is it? And especially will be prevalent amongst the females of this nation. The fake women in appearance. This is a deception. Do you sisters know that when you put on all this fake stuff and you know these brothers marry you because you make them think that you look a certain way, and then when they take you on your wedding night and you take all that fake stuff off, well, that's one of the reasons why they say, oh, I'll be right back, I'm going to go move the car, and they never come back. We get that every day here. They're justified, but they can also divorce you for fraud. You know, that's legal deception. Like, that's why I tell you, sisters, all that Botox, and that's going to be my topic for the Islam Q&A. We're going to talk about this week, these Muslim women marrying kafir men, which is haram, and it's changing, going to the extremes in beautification that these women are doing. Botox filler that even the African American women, which there really is no need for you African American sisters, you black women of dark color, to be doing all that, because you women got it made with that. The darker your color, you have that natural melanin and natural stuff that Allah has given you, where you sisters don't need any of that crap done, and you're destroying yourself just like these movie stars, African American movie stars, are doing at the expense of believing that their career will be over. And look at how bad they look. Look at Vanessa and all of them. Oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize who the heck she was. What did she do to her face? She walked around looking like, and they all look like this. Like, oh my God. Whew. That Botox filler. It's not that Botox and filler is haram, because that stuff is a treatment for women that need it. And there are some women who've had burn treatment, burn problems, and skin disorders. Allah gives us knowledge. There's a cure for every sickness and every disease. And Allah gives us knowledge of that stuff, treatment, for a reason. But what you women are doing, especially you Muslim women, to yourselves, you worse than Michael Jackson. You women are thrillers. You know, it's just sad how you Muslim women have become, and even in the Arabic countries, it's just ridiculous how you're destroying your bodies, your look, changing yourselves just to keep up with the Kafirs because you really have no self-esteem. And women who do this, it's just because you have no self-worth. You know, this is what happens when we lose our Muslim identity and we grow up. Yeah, it's hard. It's horrible. Like the sisters here are typing, and it's hard. You go to places like Dubai. I mean, in the Arabic countries, it's horrible too. When I see what the Arabic women have done to themselves, they even got the Dubai look, they call it. They all look like. And the sad thing is, once you start doing that to yourself, you have to keep it up. You can't stop because you'll end up like Michael Jackson. Your face will fall off. That's the sad thing. Because that stuff it's not haram because if the male or female needs it, because it's a medical treatment for people who need that stuff for a reason, burn victims and all of that, because people go through problems. It's a treatment for people who need it. But for you women and men, because the brothers are doing it too. How many of y'all look at the K-pop? We got too many men trying to look like the K-pop men, those Koreans, those beautiful little boys, the little boys, you know, the K-pop people. Y'all know every time I do a class, my family, let me take this call because this one just got back in town. Let's make sure she's fine. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Are you back in town? Okay, I'm doing a class, so I'm gonna call you back. Okay, oh, alaikum salam. Okay, I just had to take that call because she just got back in town. She was out of town. I ain't taking no more calls. But even the Muslim men are doing it. They're trying to look like the K-pop, the Koreans. The Koreans got a different, the men over there age differently and they have a different look. They don't even grow facial hair like other people do. So we even got Muslim men trying to look like the K-pop boys, you know. So it's a problem not just with the women, but the men are doing this too. And it falls in a category of Islam, of going to the extremes in beautification. So this is not just a female thing. The brothers are doing it too. The brothers are doing it too, going to the extremes and beautifying yourself, because we have some low self-esteem issues. This is what happens when you get too attached to the kuffar. You get too attached to the kafirs. And we become so secular in our lifestyles. We're become so close to the kuffar that we're imitating them and how they look, how they dress. Men don't want to wear beards anymore. Muslim men want to look like the kuffar, like the K-pop boys. The K-pop boys look that way because they don't grow facial hair. It's very rare to see them even have a beard. So they keep that boyish look. Okay? So you brothers ain't exempt from it either. Dyeing the eyes. You know, the women ain't the only ones dyeing their eyes purple and blue. You got Muslim men doing it too. Oh yeah, you got the Arabic men and the non-Arabic men. We got African American men. Oh yeah, I know a brother that did it, and he's almost going blind. I'm gonna tell y'all, all you Muslim women and men out there that's playing around with your eyes, y'all better listen to Tiny. Y'all know that famous singer, you know, T.I.'s wife. She gave a whole testimony about how she wished she never dyed her eyes because she almost lost her sight. Dyeing your eyes. Well, I know a Muslim brother that dyed his eyes gray, and he's sitting up right now, almost blind, going through the same thing. Why are you? So the brothers are doing it too. It's not just the sisters, it's the brothers trying to look like the kafir too. It's just that we don't hear about it because the women are on TikTok on the making videos showing you how to put the makeup on, how to put the eyelashes on, and they little looking at their dyed eyes and their fake breasts and all that. The Muslim women have no shame. Okay, so it's the men are doing it too. These are the days of fitting that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said would happen. But the reality is, you know, it's still haram. It's still haram the way we doing it. Now, for those people who are going through, who have to have that cosmetic surgery because it's a treatment because of their medical situation, their burns, their whatever, that's a treatment for them. But for you people that's doing it because you want to change the way you look because you're unhappy with the decree of Allah, and that's going to be the next class. Let me make that announcement too. Inshallah, I'll work on the video since we just completed in our Aqidah class, our series on paradise and hell. We're going to move on to the hardest series for me to explain, which is the Qadr of Allah. The Qadr of Allah. Okay, and this is what takes us out of Islam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every nation has its pagans. The pagans of my nation are those who claim to be Muslim, but they don't believe in the decree of Allah. And this is where all these Sufi sects come in, because they have a problem with the decree of Allah. And you sisters and brothers with all the Botox, the fillers, the eyes, having your eyes dyed, okay? You know, the fake eyelashes. Oh yeah, I keep telling y'all those fake eyelashes you women are wearing is haram. I don't care what your so-called God, because that's what you have done. Whenever you take the fatwa or the Islamic verdict of a man over Allah and his messenger, this is shirk. You made that man your God. That's the same thing that the Jews and Christians did. I don't care what your present day God told you. Allah, the one creator, said that stuff is haram. You know, there's no reason for you women to walk around with those fake eyelashes. You look like an idiot. All of you look stupid with your Botox eyes going up like this because they done pulled your face up, stretched it to the max, and you got them fake. All y'all look like this, okay? And as the older you women get, it's going to get worse. You're going to be stretched up to the max, looking like an idiot. Because you got to keep doing it now. Once you start filling it and Botoxing it, you can't stop. Or otherwise it's going to fall off, like Michael Jackson's nose fell off. Janet Jackson's mouth and nose keeps falling off. She's having a hard time because she's old now. You know, Wendy Williams, y'all see how Wendy Williams and them look. It's hard. It's hard to keep that stuff on when you're 80, 90, messed up. Y'all blew it. Don't tamper with Allah's creation. Ain't y'all learned that? Why fix it when it ain't broke? That's for people who are broke. Especially you African American sisters. What are you doing? You women are crazy. I'm pale and I don't do that stuff. I said, let it age naturally. I ain't gonna even think to touch myself. I say, hey, leave it alone, because I ain't gonna go around looking like you crazy. Have my cats running away from me. All right. Dignity. The best thing is to go out in dignity, not thriller. Oh! That's how you women are going to go out. No dignity. All right. These are the hadiths we're going to go over today. And these hadiths, and this is another reason why these sisters don't accept the hadith. Now do y'all see why it's all clicking? I will hope you sisters can see why those TikTok women that y'all follow, I hope y'all take them off of y'all's pages and stop following them, because we're not supposed to, we're enjoying the evil. We're supposed to forbid it. Y'all need to stop supporting these sisters and watching their videos and stuff, because all y'all doing is keeping these women rich. Okay, but now do y'all see why those women do not accept the hadith? They're hadith projectors, because all these hadiths speak out clearly against what they're doing with their Botox, their fillers, their fake lashes, their extensions, showing they're putting on their gowns and showing their breasts and all this, and they're intermingling their soft voices. Their voices are not supposed to be soft. They ain't supposed to be on TikTok and social media anyway. They're supposed to be in their houses with the doors closed. Okay? Everything they're doing is haram. Okay? But this, so now you see why they hate the hadiths, because the hadiths, you're not going to find this stuff in the Quran, because the Quran just makes the law. The laws are broken down in the hadith. So of course they want the hadiths to be burned and thrown away. So there's nothing that can be thrown in their Botox faces. You know, they can't see anyway. Their eyes are so messed up. If you notice, all of their eyes look like that. All right. So they can't see that well anyway. They're having a hard time to see. All right. And so they don't want nobody to be able to quote, to throw it up at them. And I don't know who this person is. It just came in. Hold on, let me get rid of this idiot that's in Bigo. What he looking like? All right, he look like Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi done played out, bro. So this is why these women don't like the hadiths, because the hadiths call them out. The hadiths are the dalil that they don't want to hear or strain their Botoxed eyes to see. All right. So let's take a look at these hadiths. For those of you on TikTok and Bigo, I just banned Bon Jovi. Y'all can open up a tab on your cell phone to YouTube, so you can take a look at these hadiths. Open up a tab, and this is just a few. There's so many hadiths on this stuff, but I'm just going to go over the ones that Imam Nawawi put in his little collection here. Yeah, I'm going to screen share them. And I want my new shahadas to pay attention, the new converts here, because here's the evidence for Eusters. Okay. We're going to start off with this chapter of his book. I'm going to flip around too. We're going to start off with chapter 296, which speaks of, these are hadiths addressing the wearing of fake hair and tattooing and putting artificial gaps in your teeth, which was very popular back then and is still popular today. They're doing it today too. And of course, you will never understand the Quran until you learn the hadiths. Allah makes the laws with the Quran, but he breaks down, the meaning is broken down through the hadith. Let's look at the verses addressing it in the Quran. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. They, in other words, everyone who worships other than Allah, those who worship other than Allah always call upon nothing but female deities besides Allah. And they're only calling upon Shaitan, who is a persistent rebel. And Allah cursed him. And Shaitan said, I will take an appointed portion of your servants, and I will mislead them. And surely I will arouse in them false desires, and certainly I will command them to slice the ears of cattle, and indeed I will order them to change the nature of things created by you. So this is the verse that Allah tells us, whereas Iblis became angry when Allah damned him to the hellfire forever. Iblis became so angry. He said, you know what? He said, I'm going to make these people associate partners with you. I'm going to lead them to the hellfire with me. And I'm going to arouse in them their desires. I'm going to play on their emotions. I'm going to play on their desires. I'm going to make them do things that they shouldn't do. I'm going to make them change the nature of themselves. I'm going to make them do things to themselves that they shouldn't do. And Iblis has kept that promise. He's arising desires in us. He's making us women think that we're not beautiful enough. He's making us believe that we're less than what we are, that we can always be, that there's better than what we are, that there's something wrong with us, that Allah did not perfect us, that he could have made us better. So I'm going to go above and beyond what Allah did. That Allah is not perfect. He did not perfect me. I can do better than what Allah did. That's what this verse means. And Shaitan plays in it with us because our personal jinn, he hovers around in our heart. He knows our strengths. He knows what your insecurities are. He knows that women are jealous of other women, and women are, you're going through a rough time in your life. You don't like to get old. That's why I try to break my students out of that. The older women on my website, I try to get them to stop thinking like kafir women. Be proud that you're old. That's a gift from Allah. Allah tells us in the Quran, if he allows you to be 80, you're 70, you're 60, you're 80 years old, that's a blessing. And you're able to walk. You still look good, sister. MashaAllah. Do not allow your personal jinn to cause you to notice wrinkles, to look at your imperfections and think that you're broke down. Look at the good in yourself. Because your jinn is going to make you think that you are worthless and you're going to go and do things you shouldn't do, like get Botox when you don't need it. You're a black woman. You have manilin in your skin. You don't even wrinkle. Come on, black women look good. Look at Cicely Tyson. My God, them women look good for their age. I'm a person that's pale. Alhamdulillah, I don't look all ragged and ugly because that comes from Allah. But subhanAllah, women like me, we're the ones that age. You black women got it good. But you don't see that. You're looking in the mirror and you're seeing imperfections because your personal jinn wants you to see that. You don't see what the rest of us see. So now you're going to go out and do like Vanessa and all them other. Look at Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett was a beautiful woman, but look at her now. She looks like the Kardashians with her eyes all up, looking so crazy. She went and had that stuff done. And you know Angela Bassett didn't need no Botox. She didn't need no fillers. Her beautiful dark skin didn't need that. But Angela Bassett went and got it done. And she's the same age I am. Angela Bassett is the same age I am. And she did not need it. But look at her. Vanessa's the same age I am. She did not need that stuff done. Look at her now. I didn't even recognize her. These African-American movie stars are getting it done because they're letting the white movie stars who are jealous of them tell them, oh, your career's going to be over because you're in your 60s, because their career is over. Because the women that are white in color, they don't have that manilin and they do age, but they don't need that stuff either if they would take care of themselves and stop drinking. If they would stop doing cocaine, the alcohol and the drugs are what age you, and the sex. It's the lifestyle that these movie stars live. The sex, the drugs, the alcohol is what ages them. And they don't understand that because they don't believe in Allah. But for the African American women, they allow these white stars to tell them that. And they went out and look at Halle Berry. Halle Berry done went and got the Botox and stuff. I couldn't recognize her either when I saw her on TV the other day. I said, oh my God, she done did it too. They look terrible, these women. And now you Muslim women have done it too. Young girls, 25 years old. What does a 25-year-old girl need with Botox and fillers? What does a 16-year-old girl need with Botox and fillers? You've allowed Iblis to arouse false desires in you and order you to do things you shouldn't do, to change the nature created by Allah, because you allow somebody to tell you, oh, you're never going to get a husband. You're 25 and you're still single. This is what they do to the Muslim girls. Oh, subhanallah, you're 25 and you still don't have a husband. You need to go get some fillers. You need to go get some Botox. And you listen to that jealous woman tell you that. You let a jealous person tell you that because you're 25, you need Botox and fillers. You've changed. You've gone to the extremes. As Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, explained the meaning of this verse. You're going to the extremes and beautifying yourself. Going to the extremes, some people do. You didn't need the Botox, not at no 25, not at no 16, not if you African American, and because you got melanin in your skin. You don't age like them Caucasians or the white woman like me age. And even I don't use Botox. I don't use fillers. People say, oh, Laila, do you? I've never used that crap and never will. But look at you, sisters. Let's take a look at these hadiths. Let's look at the first one here. A woman came to the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I want you sisters to see that this hadith here is the proof that the hadiths are never outdated. These hadith rejecting Botox filler wearing women on TikTok tell y'all that the hadiths are outdated and they're against women and destroy Islam. How many of you women have been in this situation? A woman came to the Prophet and said, "O Messenger of Allah, I have a daughter who had an attack of the measles and her hair fell out. Now I want to celebrate and get her married. Can I give her a wig to wear?" The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No, Allah has cursed the one who makes the wig and the one who wears it." And this is why when you sisters keep coming to me about your cancer, about how your hair done fell out because you got that disease, alopecia, or your cancer, or the measles, or you're stressed out, I don't care what the reason is, we cannot wear wigs. And that goes for you brothers too, because brothers wear toupees. I don't care about you getting old, brother, and you done lost your hair. Allah has cursed anyone who wears a wig. You can't wear a fake hair. You cannot lengthen your hair with a wig, nor can you wear extensions. This includes extensions. This includes the hair man's club, the women's man's club, whatever. We cannot lengthen our hair with thread. with yarn, with grass, or anything else by sewing it in. Okay, we can't do this. This is haram because this is changing the creation of Allah. If Allah decreed for your hair to fall out, so be it. If you got Appalachia, you better be like Willow's mother. What's that woman, that Kaffir woman, the Smiths? Shave your head if you a man and be proud of your baldness. Okay? And if you a woman, in that case, if a woman has Appalachia and she's got bald spots, that's the only time that a woman can shave her hair to even it out and put a hijab on it. We got so many beautiful Muslim hijabs and caps that a woman can wear. You can buy them on my website. I sell these khimars like the one I have on. This is only $10. I sell them in all different colors and designs. I even got the cancer caps on my website that you can buy for $10 and you ain't got to pay no shipping. All right. So we have beautiful khimars and hijabs and caps that a woman can wear. But no, you cannot put a wig on or extensions. Own it. Own it, because your beauty ain't determined by the top of your head anyway. Put a hijab on and wear that hijab. That's your beauty. Do you sisters get it? And for you brothers, a woman loves a bald man anyway. Shave that stuff off your head and own your baldness. And be a man of dignity. So we cannot sew anything in your hair. No extensions, be it human hair, fake hair, horse hair, yarn, string, grass, beads, anything. Nope. That doesn't mean that you can't put beads in for decoration. I'm talking about using string to connect. We can't do that. And of course, y'all know we don't wear, you know that. Okay? If you do it, you're cursed. And I think this is why a lot of you sisters can't find a husband. This is why a lot of you sisters who do this, your lives, because you have the curse of Allah on you. And when Allah has cursed you, ain't nothing good gonna happen to you in your life. If you sisters take them wigs off, those extensions out, and that fake hair and stuff out, then maybe Allah will turn your life around. We also have this hadith. One of the companions said, I saw Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, during the Hajj pilgrimage. He was standing on the pulpit and he took the guard from a bunch of hair and said, O people of Medina, where are your scholars? Why do they not forbid you from wearing this fake hair? Because I heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbid fake hair. And I heard him say the people of Bani Israel were destroyed when their women wore this fake hair. And all these hadiths are Bukhari and Muslim. So again, we have to stop this fake hair extensions, and all this crap. And that's what you Muslim women are doing today. Underneath those hijabs, you sisters are got on extensions and weaves, braids that are fake, and all of that. Y'all better fear Allah. This is haram. This is haram. This is haram, and this is why Allah has sent the punishment. And this is not just an African American thing. Do y'all know how many Arabic women are wearing extensions? Oh yeah, I hate to say it, Dubai is filled with them. They go to the salons and they get extensions put in. The white girls are doing it too. The Indians are doing it too. These hair extensions, We got to stop it in this nation. This is why the Jews were destroyed. When their women started doing that, it's fake. It's a lie. It's falsehood. Of all the sins, Allah hates a liar. Allah hates a liar. And I want you Muslim women to remember that other hadith. Remember, the believer can commit any sin except one. The true believer can never lie. Wearing fake hair, that's a lie. That's deception. The true believer can never deceive you. For a believing woman, remember, the women of paradise are women from this world who are like the black bird. I'm going to throw that back up. You sisters want to make it to paradise? Remember, most of the women from this world will be in the hellfire. That hadith, you can never get away from it. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the majority of the women from this world, only few of them will make it to paradise. In order for a woman from this world to make it to paradise, that's why the men got those harem. The El Harem are there because only a few women from this world are going to make it to paradise. He said, in order to make it to paradise, a woman has to be like that black crow with the red beak. The woman from this world could never be a liar. Ain't nothing fake about her. Her hair is real. When her husband marries her on her wedding night, when she removes her kimar and he goes to touch her hair, he puts his hands through, everything is real. There's no dreadlock, because dreadlocks are nasty. If he saw a dreadlock, he's going to run away because that's what the jinn wear. The jinn allow their hair to grow and nap up and knot up and lock up. He's going to run. He ain't even going to touch that. He going to tell you, excuse me, let me go move the car, and he ain't coming back. But if he touch it, he ain't gonna hit no, what's this? Oh, this ain't real. He gonna say, oh my God, this is all real. This is mine. Ain't nothing fake about her hair. And when he grab her face and he touch her cheeks, he's gonna say, oh my God, you're so soft. This is real, baby. Yeah, baby, this ain't no Botox. This is no filler. And when he touch her lips to caress them, he's going to say, and this is, it comes back. It's pliable. No fillers. And when he look at her eyes, those are her real eyes, not contact lenses like a lot of you wear that are different colors. Some of you have to wear the colors because that's a treatment. For you sisters that do wear the colors for treatment and you let your husband know before he married you, that's different. But for you lying, deceptive women who had the man thinking that you had green eyes when they were contacts, and you go to close your eyes and your lens get caught up, and he said, oh my God, one eye is black, the other one is green. He's going to see you a fraud. And when he go to touch your chest, he realized they hard like a brick. He's going to say, this ain't real. Your derriere, this ain't real. Nothing's real. And then he's going to say, no, he's not coolers for you. He's going to say, eat that. And he's justified because you frauded him. You're nothing like he thought. You were just like these TikTok women putting on all that makeup, that fakeness. Nothing was real. You're ugly. You were the female devil that he should have lowered his gaze to. That's why you brothers need to stop talking to these women on the internet. It's haram. This is zina. You shouldn't be communicating with these women. You shouldn't be looking at their videos. You should be lowering your gaze. The prophet warned you, brothers, about these women. He said, the biggest fitna I'm leaving behind for you men are the women. The women are fraudulent. They're female devils. And ain't nothing real. What you see is nothing but a deception. Because remember that hadith, only a few women from this world will be in paradise. They got to be of that black bird with the red beak. You ain't gonna find no black birds with red beak doing TikTok videos unless they like me doing dawah. And my dawah is passion. My dawah is true and real. And that's why y'all hate my guts. I'm different. I am the black bird with the red beak. So I ain't in that category. I'm the one you hate and fear. But the ones you love, those are your female devils. And then when you take them home, you want to do edat. All right? Because you fell in a trap. You sisters, this stuff is haram. The liar, the believer is capable of committing any sin except one. What's the source? Sahih Muslim. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the believer can never lie. The believer is not deceptive. The believing woman would not deal with fake. Not a fake eyelash, not a fake hair, not a fake contact lens, not a fake derriere, not a fake boob, unless she had to have a mastectomy, and that's different. And she would have told the man, I had a mastectomy, before he even started communicating with her. Her guardian would have let that man know. All right? So you women are female devils. You ain't righteous. TikToky, Instagrati, Botoxy, Fillerati, with your evening gowns on and your head to the side like that hadith. Dressed but still naked with your head to the side doing the buffalo stance on your podcast, talking about relationships with the lustful men tuning in to you every night. Y'all see these hadiths in real life now. The Prophet Muhammad spoke the truth. And that's why these women hate hadiths. And hate me, the Wahhabi, as they call me, for breaking them down to you. All right? Let's take a look. The next hadith, same thing, but this one takes it further. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam cursed the maker, not only the person that wears the wig, but also the one that made it, and also the person that gives tattoos and wears tattoos. Oh yeah, we got the tattooers. That's come back in style now. Look how many of these sisters, y'all watching them put their makeup on as they do their TikTok videos. Let me introduce myself. I never told you about my background. I'm half Arabia, and I'm half American, and I'm half Caucasian, and I'm half Indian. And as she's talking and putting on her all this, I don't even know what kind of makeup it is, because I've never seen that much makeup before in my life. Putting on all this makeup, you see tattoos. She's got tattoos, and it's not henna. It's tattoos all over her hands. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got tattoos too. There's a butterfly, you know, tattoos. Tattoos. Not only are the women with the fake lashes, the fake Botox and fillers and all that crap, we getting tattoos too. Oh my God, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam really spoke the truth here too. Now, for those people that convert to Islam, because a lot of my new shahadas had tattoos before Islam, and they always ask me this question: do we have to remove them? No. Allah does not punish you for what you did before Islam. Nothing you can, and that stuff is painful and hurtful. No. But we got an epidemic. We got sisters who were born and raised Muslim, and brothers who were born and raised Muslim who have tattooed themselves. Now, these people, they're going to answer to Allah. Okay? And as the prophet said, Allah has cursed them. These people have the curse of Allah on them unless they do some serious repenting. Some serious repenting. Some serious repenting. And follow it up with some good deeds. Okay? Plucking the eyelashes, plucking the eyebrows. This is haram. Remember the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said Allah has cursed the woman or man who removes the hair from the face. That ain't talking about your beard, brother. You got to wear a beard. And for the sister, we have to remove the beard because we cannot imitate men. So for women, if we have a mustache, because I want you sisters to know, the older you get, we women will grow hair on our face. That's part of PMS. You have to remove the mustache. You have to remove the beard if you're a woman. But we cannot touch those eyebrows. And we cannot touch these eyelashes. And to show, again, some women, especially, and men who suffer with that alopecia. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. That's where they lose that hair. What do you think mascara's for? There's no need for you sisters to wear fake eyelashes when we have mascara. Mascara is not haram. You can buy mascara for your eyelashes if your eyelashes fall out, because eyelashes do fall out from stress. Eyelashes fall out from sicknesses. Get you some mascara. Mascara lengthens and strengthens and has oils in it to help your eyelashes stay strong. They even got the same stuff, because I put it on my eyebrows sometimes when I have my anxiety, because y'all know I love my dark, thick eyebrows. But when I'm going through anxiety, I'm just like Aisha. My hair can fall out too. When my eyebrows start falling out or whatever, I'll put that ointment on that'll make my eyebrows strengthen up. Okay, and they got the same type of mascara. It's clear. It's not of any color even. Although you can wear the black or the brown color too. But I get the clear because I have naturally dark eyebrows and the naturally dark eyelashes. I don't need mascara because I wear my coat and my eyebrows and eyelashes are naturally thick and dark. But I'll put the gel on to strengthen them up if I'm going through an anxiety attack. So that, and if they start to fall, there's no need for you women to wear fake eyelashes. What do you need eyelashes for when Allah has blessed us with mascara, which is a treatment? Mascara, which has all the ointments in it that you need to lubricate your eyelashes and give them the stuff they need to grow and stay firm, and your eyebrows too. You sisters are sick. You're doing it to be like the kuffar. You're doing it to be like the kuffar. And you're doing it because you have no fear of Allah. That's why you're doing it. Shame on you, sisters. And you're going to answer to Allah for them eyelashes. And you look silly. And I wish you women could see how ridiculous y'all look with them fake eyelashes. They're not even attractive. If y'all could really see how horrible you look with them. You don't look nice. You would look natural with the mascara, not with them fake eyelashes. Even the movie stars wear the mascara, not the fake eyelashes. Shows how silly y'all are. All right. Let's look at this last hadith here. Ibn Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, said, Allah has cursed those women who practice tattooing and those women who have themselves tattooed and those women who get their hair removed from their eyebrows and their faces, except, and here's my dalil, except the beard and the mustaches, and those who make artificial spaces between their teeth for beauty, because they are changing the creation of Allah. They're going to the extremes and beautifying themselves. And when he made this statement, a woman began to argue with him, like you sisters argue when you hear somebody like Sheikh Atlee say it. In fact, the woman said, what is all this that you saying about women? See how women don't change? And he said, what is this? He said, why should I not curse who the prophet has cursed and who Allah and all his angels have cursed? Allah says in the Quran, and the interpretation of the meaning, whatever the prophet gives you, take it. And whatever he forbids you, stay from it. So the woman needs to sit down. This hadith is authentic. It's Bukhari and Muslim. So y'all see, women are still the same. Just like Ibn Masud was trying to check this crazy, and this woman was a Roman. This is when the Roman women came into Mecca, Medina, to learn the religion, because Muawiyah sent them. This is when the Roman women, they had all that mouth. What is this you cursing us? Because the Roman women wore see-through clothing. The Roman women had all that fake hair and extensions, because the Roman women wore extensions like y'all do today, like the women do today. And they had tattoos on and they arched their eyebrows. The Roman women didn't have dark eyebrows like the Arabic women did. The Roman women arched their eyebrows. So Ibn Masud checked them on it. And one of the women got tough. What is this nonsense you saying about us? He said, why should I not curse you when the prophet cursed you, when Allah cursed you, and the angels cursed you, woman? And that's when Ibn Masud was the only companion that said women need to cover their face and walk around with one eye. That's why he said that. He said, you women ain't going to be the female devil in me. Because them Roman women came into Medina with a lot of mouth. Roman women were very outspoken. And they dressed in that see-through clothing. Aisha was the one that checked them. Aisha radiallahu anha words is one that, this is when the Muslims had defeated the Romans. And that's when Umar radiallahu anha had appointed Aisha. He appointed Aisha. This is why you got to learn these hadiths. The hadiths are the history. This is when Umar appointed Aisha and his daughter Hafsa and Salama to handle the affairs of the women, because the Roman women gave so much mouth to Ibn Masud and the brothers, because they was busy wanting to see what Khalid bin Walid and them looked like anyway. All right. They had to learn to separate from the men, the Roman women did. So that's when Umar said, okay, you women go learn from Aisha, Hafsa, and Salama. Because Ibn Masud said, y'all ain't gonna come in here, you female devils. He said, cover your faces and just wear one eye. That was Ibn Masud. That's where the one eye came from. Because Ibn Masud said, these female devils are not going to come after me. And that's when Aisha told them, you women can't come in my house in no see-through clothing either. Y'all better put some clothes on that are not see-through. Aisha checked these women, because Aisha was like Laila Nasheeba, passion with a stern voice. Stern voice. All right. The hadiths are the history of Islam. You find all this in Bukhari and Muslim. All right. So, you sisters, you can't arch them eyebrows either. And as far as your eyelashes, all you need is mascara. I don't know what y'all doing with this fake eyelash crap. You look like the Roman women looked back in their time, like trollops. All right. Any questions? Any questions about any of these hadiths? And the hadiths are all authentic. You can't get no higher than Sahih Bukhari than the Quran itself. But I know you hadith rejectors don't like it and don't want to accept it anyway. Questions, comments? Yeah, we've gone backwards. Exactly. Everything that's happening today is nothing that hasn't already happened in history. We just have gone backwards and we're worse. That's all. The women today are just worse. The women today are no different than the Roman women were when they converted to Islam. The Roman women were horrible. They had a hard time bending the knee to the rules of Islam. All right. Yeah, so yes, exactly. So like I said, guys, inshallah, for the Aqidah class, since we finished Paradise, I have to get that together. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Qadr, the decree. We're going to go from A to Z over the decree of Allah. And that's going to be the hardest thing for me to get you guys to understand. And I'm going to also throw in this, the character, the book of Sheikh Atlees. I'll be teaching that and combined with this, the Muslim personality. So we're going to be learning what it means to believe in Allah's decree and also these hadiths on the Muslim personality. Yes, you can cut your hair, Sister Amina. Just don't look like a man. I don't, it's just Islam forbids a woman from looking like a man and a man from looking like a woman. So yes, you can have your hair short as long as you still look feminine. You shouldn't have a stud cut. If your hair looks like a man and a person can't tell if you a man or a woman, then that's what's haram. Long as you look feminine. Aisha, radiyallahu anha, when Aisha went through her slander, when the people slandered Aisha, her anxiety was so bad that all her hair fell out. So she cut it to the length of her ear. Aisha cut all her long hair to the length of her ear. That's how short she cut her hair. Okay, so yeah, you can cut your hair. Just make sure you don't look like a man. Allah loves beauty. Allah doesn't like ugliness. That's why, it's wrong for you sisters to listen to these dawah brothers that tell y'all that you're supposed to not care about how you look, that you're supposed to not care about your hair. Because who told you that? Allah loves beauty and Allah teaches us to take pride in how we look. No woman should walk around looking like a chicken or looking like Medusa. Like I put out in my video, you women go for the bad boy. Blame yourself for allowing the bad boy to tell you to not take pride in how you look. That's your fault for listening to some idiot tell you that. And again, we can't make nothing haram that Allah didn't mention. Allah doesn't mention nothing in the Quran, nor does Allah mention, no, there's, y'all, we just went over the hadiths. There's no hadith about a relaxer or a straightener, so we can't make that up either. Once again, you sisters have to stop listening to dawah brothers who make up their own stuff and start learning Islam from women who know the deen, who base their teachings on the Quran and Hadith. I can't sit up here and start lying through my teeth and making what I don't like haram. And like I put out in that video, blame yourself for going for the bad boy. You sisters chose to hook up. And this is for the Hadith rejectors. The reason why you women hate men is because y'all are blaming the men for telling y'all things about Islam that weren't true. But you should blame yourself because you were attracted to bad boy. Most women like the bad boy, and the bad boys are the ones that are oppressive. You allowed the bad boy to make you think you had to cover your face. You allowed the bad boy to make you think that you had to wear gloves. You allowed the bad boy to make you think that you couldn't get your hair done. You allowed the bad boy to make you think you couldn't have a relaxer. You allowed the bad boy to make you think you couldn't wear makeup. You allowed the bad boy to make you think you couldn't wear deodorant or lotion. You allowed the bad boy to think that because you were a woman, you had to be ugly and trifling. So blame yourself for choosing the bad boy. And you made the bad boy your God. And you listened to everything the bad boy told you. And the bad boy never gave you clear evidence from the Quran. The bad boy never, ever gave you hadiths that said that. All the bad boy did was told you what he said. You chose to blindly follow the bad boy because you love the bad boys. So you sisters, with that bitterness in your heart against the hadiths, those are not hadiths. There is no hadith that mentions any of that stuff. Your bad boy men told you that stuff, but you can't even blame them. You chose to accept what they said. Seeking the correct knowledge and understanding of Islam is an obligation upon every Muslim male and female. And we're all going to be questioned about that. Allah is going to ask you, sisters, why didn't you learn the correct Islam? You can't blame the bad boy. He's going to say, didn't I tell you to not follow anyone but me? To not make any man, woman, child, or jinn your God but me? You sisters chose to make a man your God. You should have done what Mary did. You should have done what Khadijah did. You should have done what Asya did when her husband tried to make him her God. You should have been like Asya and said, oh my Lord, give me a home in paradise. It would be better than this. You should have been like Asya, the black bird with the red beak, but you sisters were too weak. You said, okay, bad boy, I'll do whatever you say. I'll be trifling. I'll wear gloves. I'll cover my face. I won't wear deodorant. I won't get my hair done. I'll let you strip me of every femininity that God has put in my nature. And I'll hate it. and I'll hate God, and I'll hate the prophet, and I'll hate this religion, and I'll apostate because of it. That was your choice. Do you sisters hear me? You chose that. You should have found a teacher. You should have realized you was married to a lunatic. You should have divorced that man. You should have told him, who are you? Man, you crazy. It's the nature of a woman to want to be beautiful. I ain't got time for this stuff. You should have left him. Should have did like Solomon and asked for something better. Whatever you give up for the sake of Allah, Allah will always send you better. You women chose them bad boys. Those bad boys. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you? You should have said no, not interested. And saved yourself for the good one. But you didn't. And now y'all sitting up doing talk shows, talking about your bad relationships and blaming Allah and hating the hadiths. You better hate yourself and repent before it's too late. So Amina, I say the same thing to you. If you stupid enough to listen to the bad boys, shame on you. I ain't got time for that. Can't no bad boy tell me nothing. I know my deen. Can't no man tell me how to be a woman. How can a man tell you sisters how to be a woman? Shame on you. Why would you marry a bad boy? We all attracted to him. I'm attracted to him too, but I wouldn't marry him. I'd ask Allah to take that attraction away. We all attracted to what's bad and dirty. That's the nature of the human soul, sisters. The human soul is attracted to everything that's bad and dirty. But we have to condition and train it to be in sync with Allah. You don't let it rule you. What woman is not attracted to the bad boy? You better train that soul. Y'all bit the bullet. And look at you now. 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, blaming Allah and bitter in your heart. Shame on you, sisters. Should have learned better than that. Should have saved yourself like I did. Yep. Save yourself for the good boy. The good boys do come around. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, sisters, I'm going to do the Carter. We're going to do the decree of Allah. Yeah. And that book on, I'm going to add in there the hadiths on the character of the Muslim. Yeah. Yeah, inshallah, I got to do that. And also, brother Imad Ziada, his class is going to be on Mondays at 8. I got to do a video for him too. Inshallah. And please look at the shorts I put out too. And we need donations. Y'all see the email that my robot assistant sent out. We need $1,000, guys. This is almost end of the month. We need $1,000 to cover our, I didn't even check. We might be overdrawn. We only had 200 in our account yesterday. So please donate to pay these expenses for this month. We needed $1,000 for this month to cover the rest of our expenses. I haven't even checked to see if we got any donations today. Yeah. Yeah, well, they change their hair texture too. When you put water on your hair, it changes your texture too. Where does Allah say that changing the texture of your hair is haram? Because whenever your hair gets wet, the texture changes. And whenever your hair gets dry, the texture changes. That's why y'all have to marry intelligent men, not ignorant men. And most of the bad boys are ignorant. They're uneducated. They don't know that texture changes when it's wet and dry. But where does Allah say that changing texture is haram? It's not haram for your hair to change its texture. What's haram is for you to wear a wig. And a wig don't have nothing to do with texture. And what's haram is for you to lengthen your hair. And that has nothing to do with texture either. It don't matter what texture hair you use. It don't matter if it's a piece of grass. It don't matter if you use thread. So whoever told you that, Amina, they're ignorant, because the hadith and the verses don't mention nothing about texture. That's why y'all got to marry men who are intelligent, who know how to read and write, instead of the bad boy. The bad boy is usually a criminal. And that's the truth. Stay away from criminals. I have to be real. Yeah, the good boys are boring because they're smart. Nothing to do with no texture. Ignorant people. And now, oh, by the way, guys, one of the sisters has just spoken, the hadith rejector. She said that's why she don't believe in the hadith. Well, sister, you about as ignorant as they are. Water seeks its own level. It's time for me to log out because the sisters are here. And I don't feel like getting into a debate with these rejectors of the hadiths. How's your Botox holding up? No comment. Better watch that nose. You know what happened to Michael? By the way, it's a good movie. You can learn a lot from Michael Jackson's movie, sister. His hair caught on fire too. So be careful with that, those weaves. All right. Okay. Inshallah, guys, make sure you guys are here for the classes tomorrow. Oh, she got mad. She done left out. She done left out. Oh. All right. Can't nobody handle a woman like another woman. Lord, have a mercy. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.